Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Today, comparison and overview of the three main EVGA GeForce GTX 1070 graphics cards currently available on the market. Which one should you consider? What are the differences? That's what we're here to look at. First of all, I've done individual reviews of each of these three cards. Links in the description below. Please go check those out if you haven't already seen them. But in short, on your left-hand side of your screen, you've got the Founders Edition. This is the base reference design for $450. They're basically all the same between each of the companies. It's a blower-style cooler, Founders Edition. On the right-hand side of the screen, you have got the Superclocked card. This is the mainstream factory overclock card that EVGA offers, and the retail price on this is $440, $10 less than the reference card. And then in the center, we have the For the Win Edition, the Super Deluxe Fancy version. This is $460 or $10 more. Price-wise, they're all about the same. $440, $450, $460. Those prices are close enough. Buy the one, not based on price, but based upon features and performance that you're interested in. Now, based upon those price differences, it would be very easy to say, well, shouldn't everybody just buy the For the Win Edition? It's the fastest, right? It's the best, it's the biggest. Why for $10 or $20 consider the others? Hold on, not so fast. Let's start with the Founders Edition. Do you have a pre-built machine from a major manufacturer? Yes, you should consider this card. Do you have an Acer, a Zeus, a Lenovo, an HP, a Dell that came in a mini tower or maybe even a mid-tower case that doesn't have a lot of cooling to it? A good example is I've previously reviewed a Lenovo Idea Center 700 and an Acer G3710 Predator desktop computer. Both machines, I would put the Founders Edition card in, not the open-air coolers. The reason for this is because neither one of those machines has a lot of system cooling. They do have one or two case fans. They do have some cooling, but both machines were designed for blower-style coolers. Both machines come with blower-style coolers. The Acer Predator came with a GTX 950, and the Lenovo Idea Center 700 came with a GTX 960, both blower coolers. It was meant for it. If I had either one of those computers, I would buy the Founders Edition. It'll plug right in. It's designed to work thermally. The reason for this with those type of machines, and the reason is it sucks in the air from inside the case through that fan, blows it horizontally across the chip, and it exhausts it out the back. Now, the blower-style coolers are a little bit louder and run a little bit hotter than the open-air coolers, but they get the heat out of your computer case. The problem with putting one of these in either one of those systems I mentioned is they exhaust most of their heat inside your case, which means the heat stays around the video card and it moves its way up to your processor, your Intel chip, and heats it up as well. At some point, if the heat grows high enough, you know your system won't be damaged, but it could thermally throttle. It will slow itself down to keep it from being damaged. The graphics card and your processor are both capable of automatically slowing themselves down to keep from damaging themselves. This is good, your hardware won't get damaged, but it's bad because while these cards are supposed to be faster than the Founders, they're not. If they're thermally throttling, they're not. They may very well slow down and be slower than the Founders Edition. Furthermore, if they're heating up, the fans will spin faster, negating the lower noise footprint. They'll just become louder trying to cool themselves off, recirculating hot air inside of a machine that does not have enough exhaust fans. Now, if you can add exhaust fans to your pre-built machine, that's fine. That might be a solution. What if you have a custom-built machine, either a machine you built yourself or one that you got from a boutique builder such as CyberPower PC or iBuyPower, one of those type companies? Those companies build machines out of the same components that you would off of buying parts off of Amazon or Newegg. A nice big case such as a Corsair Carbide 500, a Thermaltake, an Antec 900. Some type of case that might have 3 or 4 case fans. You've got a fan in your power supply, an exhaust fan on the back, maybe a fan on the top blowing air out. You've got vent grills on the top of your case. Maybe you have a side vent. You've got maybe 1 or 2 front fans. That type of circulating airflow, bringing air in the front and exhausting it in the back, is what the open-air coolers are meant to work with. If you have such a machine, by all means, buy one of these two. That's more for the pre-built OEM, large company machines. This is for the custom machines. Both of these cards are factory overclocked. They are factory overclocked a bit more than 100 megahertz over the Founders Edition. They are a little faster. but it isn't as much as you would think in real life performance. Let me give you a specific example. 1440p, Grand Theft Auto 5, very high detail, all the details cranked to the max. The Founders Edition averages about 61 frames per second. The Superclocked card, 65 frames a second. Yes, it's faster, 4 whole frames a second. Will you notice 61 to 65? No, you really won't. That type of difference more makes you feel better than it really makes a difference. The nice thing about the Superclocked is if your case has enough fans, if there's enough airflow in your case, the Superclocked will be quieter than the Founders Edition because the 2 big fans spin slower and they move the air more slowly than the single fan does to keep it cool, so it does have a lower noise footprint. It's a little faster, but note, you can overclock using the built-in included software. You can overclock the Founders Edition to the same speed as the Superclocked. It'll run warmer and the fan will be louder, but if you're playing with headphones, maybe you don't care. So, that's the Superclocked. What about the For the Win Edition? It's maybe 1 frame per second faster at the factory overclock speeds than the Superclocked. It's a minor difference. It can be overclocked higher than the Superclocked because it does have 2 8-pin PCI Express power connectors. There's only 1 8-pin on the Superclocked and 1 8-pin on the Founders. So note, those have 1 8-pin. The For the Win has 2. Make sure your power supply has 2 8-pin PCI Express power connectors. It also has a 10+2 phase power delivery system, whereas both the Founders and the Superclock have a 4+1. Does this really matter? No, not on these cards. On the 1080 a bit more, but it's a little over-engineered. Can you overclock this a bit more? Sure, you'll get 66 or 67 frames a second out of it, maybe 68 if you get a lucky card. Don't buy any of these cards based on the performance. These are minor differences. In the real world of really playing games with variable frame rates, they're all fine. So, why would you spend $20 more for the Win card versus the Superclocked? 2 reasons. It's big and impressive looking, and RGB lighting. The Superclock card does have LED lighting, but it's only 1 color, white. The front honeycomb sections light up white, the logo lights up white, you can turn it on, you can turn it off, but you can't change the color. The honeycomb sections and the logo on the top, 16.7 million colors on the For the Win Edition. If you like RGB lighting, if you want to make it red or blue or purple or fuchsia, please don't make it fuchsia. If you want to make it fuchsia, you need the For the Win Edition. Is $20 worth RGB lighting? That's a personal preference. That's not something I can say is better or worse. That's just what you're interested in. Just note that the card is physically taller, you need more case room, and it does have the 2 8-pin connectors. But if you meet those requirements, if it will fit, and you don't mind paying the $20, by all means, get the For the Win Edition. It sounds cool, it looks cool. Nothing wrong with that. Beyond these cards, what about other brands? Somebody's bound to say, yeah, those look nice, those are all EVGA. I have opened and reviewed MSI Gaming X, the Gigabyte G1, the Zotac Amp Extreme. Links to those in the description below. There's nothing wrong with any of them. I'm simply giving a comparison between these EVGA cards. Almost all the factory overclock cards are really close to each other in performance. Most of them will all overclock about the same amount. We're talking about minor percentage points of differences. Pick the card that you think looks nice, that you're happy with aesthetically, that you find in stock for normal retail prices. Don't pay overprice for these. $450, $440, $460 is the most you should pay. Hopefully the prices drop at some point, but that's the most you should pay. All 3 of these cards are in stock right now with both Amazon and Newegg. Links in the description below. Go check them out, buy it wherever it's cheapest and wherever your favorite store is. That's fine. Like the video if you like it. Don't if you don't. Remember to subscribe to my channel. It's the big, huge red button right down there. By all means, click it and get updates to future videos. Questions, comments, thoughts, feedback, suggestions, that goes in the just below the video description in the comment section. Do you like EVGA? Do you like a different brand? Do you agree with my comments about do you like the RGB lighting system? Do you care? What do you think of the Founders Edition? That's where you should tell me what you think. And finally, as with all of my videos, if you want to support me, check out the links in the description below. I would certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.